Get the facts right.
The White House approves federal aid in the wildfire fight throughout California. Good evening, I'm Brent Weber.
And I'm Allison Woods. Tonight, the scope of the devastation is overwhelming. Governor Jerry Brown declaring a state of emergency for Solano County tonight, where the deadly Atlas fire continues to grow and spread. Look at this. This is the North State, where Brown declared states of emergencies for 8 more counties yesterday, including Butte County and Yuba County. In a statement today, the governor said, quote, the Federal Emergency Management Agency has responded promptly to assist California in fighting these terrible fires. He also praised President Trump for the fast response.
At this hour, at least 15 have been killed as massive wildfires sweep through parts of Northern California, destroying at least 2,000 structures. But more unsettling, more than 100 people remain unaccounted for. Search teams continuing the grim task of combing through the rubble in Santa Rosa's incinerated neighborhoods, looking for victims of the Tubbs fire, which raced through the city without warning. Of the 180 people reported missing in Sonoma County, more than 50 have now been found safe. Sonoma County Sheriff's Office expects many of the missing are likely alive and likely without cell phones or cell service to contact people. Some 77 cell towers were downed during the wind-driven fire early yesterday.
And we told you last night how the Tubbs fire in Napa claimed the lives of an elderly couple. Their son, Mike, says their house was one of the first in the subdivision to catch fire. Charles and Sarah Rippey, 198 years old, died in the early hours of the fire. The flames incinerated the home. The only thing left relatively untouched was the mailbox. Mike said his parents had recently celebrated their 75th wedding anniversary.
My father, he never made it to a room, and but even if he had made it, there was no way he was going to leave her.
Mike said his parents' love began in grade school in a small Wisconsin town. He said they started a family after his father returned from fighting in World War II. They raised 5 kids and eventually retired in the Bay Area.
The father of a Chico city councilman is believed to be one of at least 15 people who have died in the wildfires statewide. And Drew Coolidge says his father lived in Yuba County and that his entire area is burned to the ground. His father, Stan, was 78 years old, at home with his fiancee. His cars never left the driveway. Neither of them have been heard from since. Andrew says the Yuba County Sheriff's Department told him all that remains of his father's house is the chimney and smoldering ashes. U.S. Congressmen John Garamendi and Doug LaMalfa both told me tonight they are glad the White House approved the disaster declaration to free up immediate funds, both mentioning long-term budgetary commitment to rebuilding after natural catastrophes.
The role of the federal government in this is not just to declare a federal disaster, but also to assist in the payment for the firefight and the rebuilding after the disaster.
Yeah, the White House has been very responsive on what we've asked for, going back to the the breakage at Oroville Dam. They responded very quickly there on the other fires that have happened so far where they've had a jurisdiction, and so they moved quickly on this, including changing the way the funding goes for fire suppression with the $576 million commitments to that we asked for just a few days ago as well.
A look at hazy skies over Redding tonight from a Mercy Medical Skycam, and high fire danger is expected tomorrow. Mike Graff is in for Rob Elvington tonight and joins us with what we can expect. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Allison. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be windy, blustery, a little chilly, and definitely high fire danger. Today we topped out at 78 degrees in Redding. Believe it or not, that's a couple degrees below normal. Normal 82 for this day. Chico, you were right at normal, 79 degrees. Overnight low of 48, record high 100 in 1991. Highs up and down Northern California with smoky skies include 66 in Bernie and Alturas to 73 in Happy Valley, 70 in Hay Fork, 67 in Mount Shasta. Chilly morning lows this time of year right now. 85 in Oroville because the smoke cleared the Oroville area, blew up to the north. 78 in Corning today to 80 in Orland. Yeah, with air quality not good today because the southerly breeze blew that smoke up around the Redding and Red Bluff area, trapping it there. We're going to see the wind shift tomorrow, so that's going to scour out some of the smoke. but it's also going to bring us very high fire danger, low humidity as well. So we're looking like this for the next couple of days, and then by next week, a little bit of change in the weather. Of course, we'll be talking more about that, Allison, in a couple minutes.
Thank you, Mike. Firefighters are still battling the LaPorte fire, which is now part of the wind complex. The fire has burned around 3,700 acres and is 15% contained. Evacuations are still in place for LaPorte Road from Pleasant Grove Lane to Darby Road and all areas of Las Vergeles Road. Also under evacuation is Oro Bangor Highway from Avocado Road to the Bangor Four Corners. The previous evacuation order for the community west of Bangor has been reduced to an evacuation warning, and residents can re-enter.
The fire in LaPorte moved so quickly, many barely had time to make it out before the fire was knocking at their door. A viewer contacted us just a few hours after having to leave her home, saying she tried reporting the fire while it was still just embers, says she was dismissed by the dispatcher. Others we spoke with told the same story. Firefighters late in responding. KRCR News Channel 7's Julia Avery went to Bangor to learn more.
Hot embers in one woman's yard may have been the first signs of the LaPorte fire approaching Bangor. She says the dispatchers told her if she didn't see any vegetation on fire, then it was coming from the Cascade Fire in Yuba County. But those embers eventually may have burned much of the town. We spoke with other members of the community who claim they didn't see a fire truck for an hour after the flames started. One 19-year-old said he and his friends worked alone to remove a tree from the road so people could evacuate. The CAL FIRE Public Information Officer tells us they first got the report of the fire at 12:45 a.m. But at 12:27 a.m., dispatchers are heard over the scanner discussing the fire, confused.
We put multiple callers through seeing flames in the area of Uppermit Darby. That's not an active fire?
No, it should be an active fire, but according to CAL FIRE that I'm talking to, they say it's in Yuba County.
All caller command center, Upham Road and Darby are definitely Butte County.
The confusion was about the county lines.
CAL FIRE stated they've had an engine up off Upham and Darby. They have not located any fires in Butte County. They believe it's the one in Yuba County only.
I'd still like 21 to 7 for respond up there just as precaution.
About 8 minutes pass.
Right to that Bangor area like you requested. Top of the hill, just north of town. You can see the whole skyline over there is lit up. Looks like a huge fire.
One resident left when the embers by the Bangor store were starting to grow, but she says there weren't any fire engines stopping to help at that time.
I feel like there should have been a little more concern to this fire that was started, and they should have had at least a couple trucks up there trying to get it under control and contain it so it didn't spread and get as big as it is now.
In Bangor, Julia Avery, KRCR News Channel 7.
And we contacted CAL FIRE. They said they followed all procedures correctly. We are working to get information about the calls that came into dispatch that night, and we'll keep you updated.
Tonight, we have new numbers on the wind complex, which includes the LaPorte fire. The other fires are the Cascade, Lobo, and McCourtney fires. The Cascade fire in Yuba County has burned 11,685 acres and is 20% contained. The Lobo fire in Nevada County is around 880 acres and is 30% contained. And the McCourtney fire in Nevada County is at 72 acres and 65% contained.
In Butte County, the Cherokee fire burned almost 8,000 acres and it's 40% contained, according to CAL FIRE. The evacuation order for the west side of Cherokee Road between Derrick Road and Red Tape Road has been downgraded to a warning. All other warnings have been lifted and all of Highway 70 is now open. In Paradise, the Honey Fire has now burned 90 acres and is 30% contained with forward spread stopped, according to CAL FIRE. Evacuations remain in effect for the Upper Honey Run Zone. Evacuations have been downgraded to warning for Zone 9 and Lower Skyway Zone. All the previous evacuation and orders and warnings have been lifted there. Southbound Skyway remains closed. Also, the evacuation center at Neighborhood Church on Notre Dame Boulevard closed this afternoon.
Our team coverage of the wildfires burning in Butte County and across the state continues online at KRCRTV.com and on our Facebook page. And you can always get the latest updates no matter where you are with our free mobile app. Just search KRCR in your device's app store. Well, traffic diverted and streets closed today as Reading police respond to reports of a dangerous individual.
We have details from RPD, a man's highly trained dog creating concerns before they eventually make an arrest.
And an update to the viral video of a Utah police officer arresting a nurse. Where this officer is tonight, coming up after the weather.
High fire danger and a chance of rain. We'll be talking about both in 2 minutes.